Hey guys, welcome back into another episode of SoCal Sports Report. I'm Bobby DeMuro with my co-host Ailis Garcia. Edit again on another Monday. We've been around for a while now.
Couple months.
Kind of fun,
yeah,
I guess. Speaking of fun, baseball season is almost here, which is the real fun for us because we're both baseball fans. Lord knows Ailis hates college basketball.
Ugh.
No more of that, at least for a little while. You know we're going to talk about the tournament at some point.
We're going to have to talk about the tournament, but not this week.
Not this week. We've got a lot of baseball this week and a lot of other good stuff. We're going to jump right in. Sandy Koufax, a few weeks ago, this is an old story, but a good one. Sandy Koufax a couple weeks ago was visiting Dodger spring training, came out and said that Yasiel Puig needed to work on his fundamentals and would not compare him to Roberto Clemente, which a lot of other people have.
Right.
Is this a controversy that Koufax calls out Puig, or was Koufax right and this is really a non-story?
Was this before or after he got hit in the head by Andre Ethier?
Okay, you just say that because I had no idea he actually got hit in the head until we had to go look this up, but this was before.
This was before. All right, well, it's definitely a valid point.
It is.
What player does not need to work on their fundamentals? What player doesn't need to practice? No
well,
one.
Kenny Powers.
Oh, sure. Anyways. Yeah, you have to, everybody has to work on their fundamentals, especially Puig. He's known for being a little wild, a little careless at times, and it all comes from his passion. But you know, like when you're so into something, you could, you know, miss out on the details and miss out on the intricacies of, and the technicality of, you know, actually playing the sport. So
yeah, and I think this is a very broad point. It's tough to prove, but great players don't make great plays. I mean, they do. But great players make routine plays automatic.
Right, you have to be consistent. And
yeah.
He's shown that he's a little on the inconsistent side. But I think to Koufax's point, Puig has mentioned that he has been working on that. He's been focusing on his weaknesses. And he knows that he needs to improve. And I think that great players and great athletes know that they need to practice and already have that mindset and determination to just continue improving and continue getting better, and to continue working on their weaknesses to make those their strengths.
Look at one of the greatest baseball players ever, Cal Ripken Jr. Not only the Iron Man streak, but he was not the shortstop with the most range. He was not the shortstop with the best arm. He had a good arm, but it was not the best. He was not the fastest. He was not the best power hitter. He did not hit for the best average. But every routine play that came his way, or every routine thing he had to do, whether it was move a runner over at the plate, he did it.
I think consistency wins.
Yes, always wins, especially in baseball. It's 162 games. You are nothing if you are not consistent.
That's very true.
So this is a non-story. I agree with you on that. And if Sandy Koufax opens his mouth pre-line drive, you should probably listen to him. Post-line drive, get that man to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. He seems to be doing okay, though.
You don't know. With old people, you never really know.
That's very true.
With
down the road.
With young people, you never really know sometimes, too.
Yeah, that is very debatable.
Do you know where you are right now?
Orange County, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. So she is of sound mind. She can continue the show. In the meantime, while we move on to the second topic, we want to know from you guys at home, what does Puig need to do this year the most? Is it replay last year's batting average? Is it start as hot as he did last year? Or is it work on the fundamentals and become a complete player? So get below here on the YouTube comments.
And be consistent, too. Because as we know, second year, sophomore slump.
Exactly.
What's going to happen? Has he practiced enough? Has he stayed off of the Florida roads?
Does the league adjust to him, or will he adjust to the league?
We shall
That's
see.
the biggest thing. So let us know below in the comments. Get on Twitter and tell us, what does Yasiel Puig need to work on the most in 2014? We'll find out shortly, but we want to know your opinion. Moving on now from Yasiel Puig, we've got another baseball topic, luckily.
We do.
The San Diego Padres and performance-enhancing drugs. And of course, we're talking about Yasmani Grandal, great name, and Everth Cabrera, both Latin American players. Neither one of them's Cuban, so I have a feeling Ailis doesn't care about these guys.
I'll still give them a little attention.
A little
but still their names, really. Like all these Latin American players, especially Cuban players.
Great names.
They're interesting.
Yasmani Grandal, that's a great name. What he did not do great last year was get busted for steroids.
Yeah.
Both those guys were caught in the biogenesis scandal. Cabrera, of course, was an all-star last year and then got busted for steroids, served out a suspension at the end of the year. The reason we're talking about this now, Nick Hundley, the other Padres catcher, has been very vocal in his disdain for these guys cheating, which is what it was.
True.
So, Ailis, I've got to wonder, how does that relationship and maybe these guys coming back to the team affect the Padres locker room this year? Do you think they get welcomed back with open arms, or is there going to be a problem?
Absolutely not. If you can't respect the game, if you can't respect your teammates, if you can't respect the other players, the fans, everyone involved, every stakeholder involved in baseball, then how do you expect your teammates to just, you know, open up their arms to you and respect you in return? You've already lost that respect. It's going to take a long time to rebuild, regardless of how you play.
See Melky Cabrera and what he had to do the last couple of years after he got busted. I hope we're at a point now, if you took steroids in the mid-1990s when it was rampant and it was illegal, but it wasn't as frowned upon as it was now, I understand, and you want to make amends and you want to come back and play, and guys have done that, and guys were caught in the Mitchell report and came back and played more and apologized and whatever.
But now, after all the players, Rodriguez, Fonseca,
Ryan Braun, you've seen the penalties, you've seen these guys having disdain. I think we're at a point with clean players now, which most of the league is, if not all of it, hopefully in 2014. But with clean players right now, I think we're at a point where they look at these dirty guys like a Cabrera or like a Grandal and say, you know what, dude, screw you. Not only were you cheating to help our team win, but you're cheating to keep a job when I could lose mine.
Right, exactly.
Screw you, and we don't want to take it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think these guys will, in an informal way, police themselves in that manner. And not that they won't blacklist Cabrera or whatever like that, but that they'll take these guys away and say, don't ever do this again.
Right, and I think it'll definitely affect the way they play on the field as well.
Yeah, and speaking of on the field, it will be interesting. The Padres, the more I sleep on the Padres season, the better I feel about it. These two aside, they've got a decent offense that needs to get a lot better, but they've got a great pitching staff. Decent. They've got a great pitching staff. I kind of like their chances. My question is, Cabrera was an all-star last year. Can he, while clean, do that again this year? The proof's in the pudding, man. You prove it.
It's up in the air.
Prove it.
It's up in the air. As they say, you know, performance-enhancing drugs don't make a player great. They just make you a better player.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can prove himself once again without the drugs.
Back to consistency. We'll see if they can be consistent for 162
If the Padres
games.
can be consistent, they can...
They might be able to do something. We'll see. That's going to be a fun topic. Moving on, though, to our third topic. And in the meantime, guys, you tell us what you think of performance-enhancing drugs in baseball. I know everyone's covered it for about 10 years, and they've buried it into the ground.
But it keeps coming up.
But it keeps coming up.
Because players keep using PEDs.
Stupidly, they do. And a little bit differently.
And don't say that you didn't know what you were taking and blah, blah, blah. And that...
Oh, continue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I understand if you're coming off an injury and it is legal. Okay. But don't say you have no idea what you're taking. So it's like Justin Bieber, no idea. My mom just gives me medicine to take. Oh, it's Xanax while I'm also drinking. No. Be responsible, be a responsible adult, be a responsible player, and know what you're putting into your body.
Just to get this on the record, you compared Everth Cabrera to Justin Bieber.
He's just another, you know, person that people talk about, celebrity, pop star, whatever, that's in the news a lot for being dumb. If you're taking PEDs,
you're dumb.
You're dumb.
Oh, hey, no, I get the comparison. I just wanted to put it totally black and white. You compared a Major League Baseball player to Justin Bieber.
Two completely different industries and professions. I highly respect baseball players, and I respect the fact that people can make something of themselves in the entertainment world, regardless of how they do it.
Spoken like a true politician. All right, moving on to the third topic. I have a feeling Ailis isn't going to be so politically correct on this one because...
Oh, I've got my points to back me up.
We'll see about that. The Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition came out recently. Obviously not as big of a deal now that print media is kind of dead. I mean, who cares? You can go online and see Lord knows what. So do you
True,
really
but I think it's a bigger deal because now it's so scarce.
And exclusive.
And exclusive that having something physical in your hands is way better than going online and trying to search for it online.
A lot of 12-year-old boys are agreeing with you right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Moving on from that, though, 3 professional athletes, female, of course, professional athletes, posed in this year's SI Swimsuit Edition. That is Tulsa Shock, that's a WNBA team. I didn't know either, don't worry. Tulsa Shock guard Skylar Diggins. We've got soccer player Alex Morgan from the U.S. national team and surfer Anastasia Ashley. That's a great name, by the way.
Sounds like Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, no.
This is a very inappropriate third topic. We're just
discussing something similar maybe.
We are. That's true. So speaking of that similar discussion, here's my question for you, Ailis, and I apparently know what you're going to say. Is it a good idea for women's professional athletes to pose as models in this swimsuit issue, or does it objectify them and delegitimize their sports?
One person, David Beckham.
David Beckham.
David Beckham, soccer star, international soccer star, poses in underwear, poses in exotic locations, does all these shoots, endorses all these different companies, practically naked, and I don't see anybody complaining about that. I don't see any woman complaining about him posing naked.
So your argument is this totally
What
cool.
woman doesn't objectify David Beckham?
I don't know.
So if it's okay for a male athlete to do that, then why wouldn't it be okay for a female athlete to do that?
In the words of
And
Hank
if
Hill,
you're already working out, if you already have a great body, and that's what the issue is about, it's the ESPN body issue, showcases athletes pretty much naked, obviously covered up so you don't see anything. It's the same thing.
I will say, in the words of Hank Hill, don't knock the double standard. We got the long end of the stick on that one.
Oh, you did, for sure. But I have nothing against it. I think if you're asked to do it and it's respectable and it's classy and you're not doing porn, you're not doing Playboy, it's a completely different thing.
For the record, I completely agree with you. I will play devil's advocate though. The WNBA is a running joke in a lot of circles. I'm sorry it is. People make fun of the WNBA, and I know we probably have in the past. Is this the best way for Diggins, and the other ones, it's not just Diggins, but is this the best way for her to legitimize the WNBA? Or do people see this and say, yeah, that's a joke sport. This girl's a model, this girl's a swimsuit person, she's not a real professional basketball player.
I mean, that's a matter of opinion, right? But what press, how does the saying go? No press is bad press, or?
That's the saying. Yeah. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's up for debate, obviously, but I think any way you can, these days, any way you can get yourself out there and promote yourself, whether it be through social media, through print, through whatever means, I think it's great.
I kind of agree with you, but I do go back and forth on this, and I just wonder if it doesn't harm the reputation of the sport a little bit. It's not that these girls can't do it. It's certainly their right. Good on them for making money. But I just wonder if you're the WNBA and you see this, you're not just like, it just rubs me the wrong way just a little bit because it hurts the focus on the sport.
Maybe. I mean, it definitely takes away the focus from the sport, but other athletes endorse other brands that have nothing to do with sports, alcohol brands, so there you go.
At least fired up about this one.
I was. I like this topic.
Should go all day on this one. All right, guys, speaking of that, though, we want you guys to go all day on this one, and you tell us what you think of female professional athletes posing in the SI Swimsuit Edition and whether or not that sports athlete professional model relationship tarnishes their brands as pro athletes. That's an interesting discussion, so let us know below.
Tweet us too.
Tweet us. I know it's a complicated topic, but really it's simple when you think about it, and tell us what you think about that double standard, because the Beckham point is a great point. So I'll let you win that argument and leave on that point. That's it.
No, we both agreed.
Yeah, I know, but I'll let you win one time.
I'm giving you a hug. This is first time on SoCal Sports Report.
That's right. We've
bonded over these last couple of episodes.
It only took a dozen episodes. That's it, guys, on SoCal Sports Report. Ailis Garcia won today, begrudgingly. I'm Bobby DeMuro. We will see you guys in another week.